Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the video and welcome to a well-deserved long-term update on the 95 Acura Legend LS Coupe 6-speed manual. So those of you who follow the channel for a little while will remember the restoration series on this car. It took about 2 years from start to finish to cover the paint, the interior, the mechanical, the wheels and tires. Everything that was gone through on this car was a painstaking effort. And now, believe it or not, it has been 2 years since that was completed. In fact, the car came out of paint in early 2023, and I'm happy to report that now, as of early or mid 2025, I've driven the car about 4,000 miles, and it's been mechanically 100% bulletproof. So I do want to continue to rack up a few miles here and there on the car to continue to sort things out as they come up. But honestly, I've been very impressed with it, especially considering that it spent a good chunk of time just parked and static for in a driveway basically before I required and restored it. So one thing that I want to celebrate or recognize at least is that this car is hitting 30 years old. As a matter of fact, according to the sticker in the driver door jamb, it was manufactured in April of 1995. So it's now hitting officially 30 years old. Another little tidbit I wanted to recognize is that this car has spent its entire life in the Phoenix area. It was sold new or put into service on June 27th of 1995 with 15 miles on the odometer. So coming up next month, we'll celebrate officially 30 years in service. The car was sold from Bell Acura, which no longer exists in its current location in Phoenix. I've driven the car over there just for a photo for keepsake, but it was issued to its original owner named Amy, and she kept it for 26 years. She racked up about 142,000 miles over the course of that time, and she got her money's worth out of the car, but she also neglected a few things, as you saw in those prior videos. So one of the things I'm going to do here shortly, just to kind of bring you up to speed on the car, is walk you through the list of maintenance items and other sort of miscellaneous things that have been updated or upgraded over the last couple of years, and also do kind of a brief inside and outside overview of the car, just to show you its current condition and maybe highlight a few things that are still on the checklist. Now, to date, the longest trip I've taken with the car was about an 800-mile or 900-mile round trip to southern Utah and back, and the car was great for that. Other than that, it's mostly stayed around town for car show events and things like that. Tomorrow, we do have a 45% chance of rain in the morning, but I might be taking the car down to a Kyushu Club meetup. Some of you saw my prior video on that. It caters toward 2005 and older Japanese and European imports. However, tomorrow being the May 4th event, is going to be open to all years for Japanese and European cars. And they're kind of doing it as a send-off to the season, as it were. Here in Phoenix, our weather gets uncomfortably warm for outside car show related activities in the summer, so we kind of take a break, similar to the folks in the cooler states do in the winter. We do that in the summer. So hope to be able to take this car out tomorrow morning, weather permitting, and show you a few of the cool rides there. We'll go ahead and get right into the details here. The current odometer reading on the car, 146,863, which is not too bad all in all for a 30-year-old car. Here's your little exterior overview. This car was repainted back in 2022 and 23 by Apex Wetworks here in Phoenix. You'll hear me say their name quite a bit in all of my videos because they're the country's renowned experts on Honda, Acura, neoclassic sort of 80s, 90s cars. I've had a number of full paint jobs by them in addition to some smaller projects. I've even had friends send cars from other states or drive them here. In fact, you'll hear about this in the coming future, but my buddy Andrew, who I recently featured his black 93 LS Coupe 6-speed, has now commissioned Apex to work on his G1 red Legend Coupe. So you'll be seeing some of that here possibly in a future video. But as for the 95 LS, I did have Travis from Superior Detail do a full ceramic paint protection process on this shortly after it came out of paint. So that was about $850 well spent. Now in total, there have been about 25 line items of things that I've addressed about the car over the last couple of years, and the total in receipts for those items is about 5,000 bucks. So how did I possibly spend another 5 grand on the car after already going through a complete front to back restoration? Well, it adds up pretty quickly. And the challenge with these cars, as anybody who's dealt with them knows, is that parts are discontinued, sometimes difficult to find, and sometimes expensive. So here's just, I'll run down the checklist of things from my paperwork here. There was a small coolant leak that was addressed. The fog lights took some troubleshooting to get working. A couple of oil changes, Bosch Platinum spark plugs, EGR valve and gasket, fog light harness, upper radiator hose, rear, upper, and lower control arms, rear struts, fixed the license plate lights in the back, replaced the battery. This next one was a pretty big one back in March of this year. Both front lower control arms and pivot bushings, both CV boots on the right axle, both front lower ball joints, replaced a leaking left outer CV boot, an alignment. And I also had recently finally got a hold of some bumper sliders. You ever see these second gen Legends? You know the gap here is usually crazy, and there's a specific part that it takes to kind of cinch that up. But yeah, that's kind of the rundown of what's been done on the car in the last 2 years or so. There is something I'm kind of proud of that I'm going to show you, and I have to roll up the window to illustrate it. So back in the day when these cars were new, sorry, I knew that was going to lock me out, but I have the other side open. These cars have the most problematic door lock actuators ever. It's still trying to cycle. Anyway, look at this sticker here. This is a replica sticker that I had created, and the digital work for that was done by my friend Jason, but I had it printed on a clear material. So most Legends by now have had those removed because of tint jobs or people that just don't want unsightly, stickers on their car. But I thought that was a kind of a cool way to bring the car truly back to its original configuration, because all the 91 to 95 Legends would have had a sticker just like that. While I'm in here, I can't not show you my pride and joy. Remember these Case Logic cassette holders? Well, I grabbed one on eBay because I got to the point where I was actually collecting a few tapes. You can see the selection's pretty legit here. Thanks again, Ian, for the TLC. Anyway, don't have any plans to upgrade that Bose audio system, so I do enjoy having some period correct music entertainment from time to time. I think that is going to pretty much do it for the inside and outside walk around. I'll pop the hood real quick and show you that. By the way, the leather is holding up great. I had this done by a company called Trim Fit Upholstery. Gentleman's name is Naro, and he is an absolute pro. Also, the center console was done by a fellow Legend aficionado and close friend, Brian. Don't know if he's doing those anymore, but there is another solution I found through Craft Customs. You might remember I used Craft for some work on some steering wheels in the past. They actually will do center consoles as well. I featured that in my Legend GS restoration video over the last couple years. Wasn't originally going to plan on showing you the engine bay, but here you go. Not much to look at. Stock Type 2. It is the original motor. It may have been possibly less expensive to just go a replacement route, but I wanted the car to be true to its original configuration. In the classic car or hot rod scene, they call that numbers matching, aka the engine that the car came with is still installed today. And being that it has pretty low miles at 146,000 or so, I feel like it's got a lot of life left to leave. By the way, out back, I'm not sure there's much to show. It needs a vacuum, but this was that custom floor mat I did with the embroidery in it from Lloyd's Mats, LLOYD. Check them out sometime. They do a lot of branded merchandise. They're an officially licensed retailer for the Acura logo. So if you need trunk mats, you can do it. If you need interior mats and a variety of other things, they're really awesome. And just like that, I am out of daylight. So I'm gonna head back to the house and hopefully be able to show you some cars tomorrow at the Kyusha Club meetup. And thanks for coming along for the ride. We made it to the show this morning, and just as I suspected, it's a huge turnout today. Yeah, this might be a record turnout wise. It's several blocks long. Forgot to mention I usually carry these around with me, these pictures from pre-restoration. Can't really see because of the glare there, but you can tell how rough the car was inside and out when it was picked up. That was the trailer day in September 2021. And there's the ratty interior with Arizona sunbake treatment.